All right, man, we're live. Back with another daily updates with A&M. Salam alaikum. Good afternoon to you. Good morning to our drivers. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing good. Behind me is a 30 degrees Celsius, beautiful summer day. It's afternoon already, almost late afternoon, by the way.
Look,
And
man,
the whole month,
America didn't spend trillions delivering freedom around the world to have to deal with that inferior metric or whatever your system is called. So tell us what the temperature is in English.
in
This
English,
is America, man.
all right, I apologize to all those white, red, and blue Americans, but 30 degrees Celsius is like 85 degrees Fahrenheit. So that's what
America.
it is. Yeah, so apologies, and of course, I'll try to be U.S. centered, not European centered.
Centric. I think centric is a
U.S.
good one.
centric. It is U.S. and European centric. Yeah, yeah, that's right, sir.
All right, thank you for translating that. Let's get rolling. This special post Bidem edition. Yesterday we had 43 available drivers, 32 of which were booked, meaning that we utilized 74% of our fleet. Our bid win ratio was highest it's been in a while, or one of the higher end on the higher end. 11.46%, and the average driver earned $630 per load yesterday. So overall, good average driver pay. Um, of the 1,354 available loads, we bid and lost 360, about 25-ish percent. We won 38, this tiny slice of the pie. We had about a third expire with 414. Again, if you put something on yellow, be ready to bid. Otherwise, there is a lot of loads slipping through the cracks because our drivers are just letting them sit there.
Hmm.
Our dispatchers declined 293, and those are always because either it picks up too far in the future, it's too short, it's too long, or just doesn't make sense for some reason. And 167 were auto, and 82 were self-declined. So all in all, the numbers as we've seen them are that about a third of the shipments expire, about a third are declined, and we only go after about a third. You can imagine, logically, if this 360, if this became half of the pie, the number of loads we're booking would go up as well. So really, I mean, it's a direct correlation. Our bid win ratio is always that 8 to 10, 11, 12%. It's always a matter of just putting in enough bids to win enough loads. And the more bids you put in, the more loads you get.
Right, and one more thing to note is that yesterday was a holiday for some of our drivers, and some of them were kind of restricted around home or fully out of service. And that's why we have a lot of expired and declines because their availability was not as open as usual. But today we should start having them more on load or available. And but yeah, if you just look at the numbers, like 70% of loads are either declined or expired,
Expired.
which
Yeah.
is which is a huge, 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 huge chunk.
Everything gray and then these shades of yellow and orange is either declined by you or us manually or automatically or expired, which is yeah, it's not. I mean, it is what it is. People are practicing the freedom that the app gives them, and that's why we built the app. But those freedoms have a cost. Democracy has a
That's
cost.
that's right, man. That's right. Code red.
What do you got for us?
Code red. We have one driver, 653. He is a fairly new driver and was booked this morning, which is a good thing to add. He was on the top of the list.
If
New
he's
York
booked,
City
man, yeah, let's just keep it going to the next one.
All right, 534, Lakeville, Minnesota. We had yesterday 16 opportunities. This is pretty much Minneapolis. We had 16 bids and 52 opportunities, so we missed on a lot of these. So we're trying to get this guy moving today. What is interesting here, third on the list is in Boise, Idaho. He lives in Boise, Idaho, and this is how good Boise, Idaho is. He was available for the majority of yesterday, and there was zero opportunities, not bids, but opportunities from Boise. So what we usually do, he ends up going empty down to Salt Lake City, and then from there, we're able to book him on probably 65 to 70 cents a mile load to the east. And yeah, just for for those of you that don't understand Pacific Northwest, Idaho or Oregon, Washington, and Montana, our Rockies there are really really tough to be in. So yeah, we'll try to get these guys moving today.
Yes, sir. Driver highlight, Wayne Court, one of our longtime drivers, helped us to recover a load. Phenomenal human being. Yeah, one of these guys, man, that I think our entire staff has had positive interactions with. So I appreciate drivers that
Yeah,
make it easy for others, to work with them. And Wayne is definitely one of those guys. Long time all around. As
yeah, we were
Mohammed said, phenomenal human being.
yeah we were kind of a lot unlucky this weekend. I think we had 3 or 4 different recoveries due to
Yeah.
breakdowns, small or big, usually not medium size or small breakdowns, but breakdowns that needed recovery. And on all of those, except on one, we were able to recover by our vehicle. And then on one, the customer had to, shop around for someone else. And when this happens, you guys are really showing your team spirit
Mm-hmm.
by helping us. And of course, we're not gonna just not pay you for it or pay you less for it. You will be paid and compensated for it because it's our duty to recover these loads
Of
once we have
course.
a breakdown.
Of course. Yeah. Okay, cool. Dispatch settings. Yesterday, one of our customers reported that one of our drivers was belligerent, rude, and called the clerk names when on site at delivery. In BHX, this kind of behavior is intolerable. We urge all drivers to remain calm, polite, and professional at all times with the staff on site and dispatch. Making mistakes, understanding, and apologizing are human. In this industry, we collaborate. Collaborative work is crucial, so it is important to always show professionalism and period. Yeah, I actually listened to the call Vedad had with the guy, and he said that the shipping clerk or receiving clerk at the window, told him to go to this dock and that dock and this dock, and then he called us and got different information. And then when he went back to her for the third or fourth time or something like that, she became really rude and said, "What's wrong with you? Why are you back here? You shouldn't be here. Go something." And then he tried to explain to her, politely what happened, and she said, "No, what's wrong with you?" And then he said, "You're stupid." So,
It's funny,
listen,
but it's
yeah,
sad.
listen. I'm sure if we got her on the phone and asked her what happened, the story would be different. And every story has two or three sides. But that isn't really what matters. What matters is there's a protocol we have to follow. And if, as a driver, you arrive to pick up or delivery and someone is being rude to you, it's very difficult to handle that, right? I mean, we are human beings and human emotions are going to take over when they take over. But the goal and what we encourage and what we require from everybody is to be able to control yourself in that situation. Step out of the company, call us, say, "Hey, I'm having trouble with this person. This person is being rude to me," and we're gonna handle it, right? Um, there's no victory in you getting into an argument with anybody. It's unacceptable. This particular driver, there's gonna be a bit of a uh, kind of investigation period because this is a major customer. Now, here's the other thing I want to speak on. In that call, he said, "So Vedad, you guys don't care about your drivers. You only care about your customer because your customer gives you loads." For 10 years, man, I've been hearing this, and every time I hear it, it makes my blood boil a little bit. And the reason is because drivers say this without thinking that these loads that the customer gives is their loads. It's not my loads, it's not Munir's, it's not Vedad's. There's this statement made as if somehow the loads that the customers give us and the drivers are not linked in any way, right? But it's on the contrary. The relationship that we fight to protect with our customer, we fight this hard to protect it because that relationship is how we keep our drivers busy. If we said to this customer, two middle fingers up and go, kick rocks, you guys are assholes, our drivers would lose money. Like it's not just me or Munir or someone else, but it's a direct link. The customers give the drivers loads. Now, with that, we've never taken a blanket side of just protecting the customer. We've always been fair. We always look for the middle ground. And regardless what the shipper does, I'm never going to approve and say it's okay that a driver calls them stupid or gets into a shouting match. I mean, that's basic professionalism. If someone is being rude to you, step away, call us, we'll handle it. With that said, I understand human emotions are human emotions, and it's not always easy to control.
Sir, we don't have many of these happening. Usually people are polite and our drivers are polite, and we never have something like this happen. But when it does happen, we have to double down on professionalism on our end. We can only control us. We cannot
Hmm.
control what's on the other side. We cannot control shippers. Actually, we had numerous drivers complain about same customer, and I brought that forward to one of these customers. So just I remember the city name, Canal, Winchester, Ohio. So multiple drivers that were picking up in that facility said they're the worst, they're like this, they're like that, but they never went there and argued or whatnot. And even customers said, we know it's like that, we cannot do anything about it, and something like that. So even it happens on the other side as well, and we understand how difficult it is for our drivers sometimes to keep their cool and to keep the professionalism and everything else. But at the end of the day, it's necessary. We have to be professionals, and those human reactions, um, when they happen, we have to understand them as a learning curve, as a lesson for us, and move on.
Right. Yeah, the guy said also on the call, so are you saying, Vedad, if they hit me, I should just let them hit me as well? And I mean, I understand at that point, it's just people are frustrated and they're just saying whatever, to make an argument for themselves. But yeah, I mean, obviously there's boundaries and everything, and what we ask for is professionalism and handling things the right way. Yesterday, Hafsa making an appearance, a rare appearance in these, with booking a couple loads herself. Kemal, our new night guy, coming in with 3 loads as well, with Omer booking 14 and Muammer booking 19 all around. Given all the other details of the day, it was a pretty good day. What do you got here?
Des Moines, Iowa, going to Delta, Utah. Delta, Utah is actually not a Salt Lake City, so the driver will need to relocate afterwards. But it's $1.04 a mile cents a mile, and 1,187 miles for $1,240. This is a self-dispatch bid. Um, these are the rates that this load is going for, that this lane is going for, and our driver understands that usually we need to relocate up north a little bit after this one, but it's a good long load. I guess if driver has the two more loads this week is good.
Agreed. Next up, we got a Virginia to Ontario, dollar a mile, 7.15 for 7.15. You're ending up in the best area for loads. And last but not least, you got Arkansas to Ontario. Anytime you can get
Same
out
here.
of a kind of a not a great, not a horrible place like Arkansas, and especially this part of Arkansas where it's kind of
Yeah,
in the middle of nowhere.
it
And you
is.
can get to the best area, it's a win, and you can do it for a dollar a mile. Next up, customers are pointing out that all carriers in the industry that drivers are not wearing proper PPE. Uh, Proper PPE, personal protective equipment, is a must, and BHX and drivers will be turned away from facilities per customer's request. Right? So if the customer requests it and we forward that request to you, it is a requirement to be wearing that PPE. Have we had issues with this as far as you know?
Not really, not really. Usually customers do specify when it's 100% must.
Yeah,
On some of the shipments, it's not. But even if it's not, and when it's not, there is a proper attire we should have when going to pickups and deliveries. You cannot go there in flip-flops and something like that. So
right,
yeah, that's important to
right.
note.
Agree. All right, man. Yesterday, 97% on time, right where we want to be. Only two late arrivals. Great job, guys. Remember, communicate if you are going to be late for any reason. If it's something out of your control, such as traffic, weather, or anything of that nature, it will not count against you. If it's something that you could have done differently to be on time, it will count as a late arrival, but providing that good communication is always going to help you and help us.
What do we have here now?
We got Steve Harvey. Your dream has to be bigger than your fear. Makes sense. I see a lot of people crippled by the fear of not being ready to dive into what it is they want to achieve. I see a lot of people that have big ambitions and big goals, but they have fear of failure, they have fear of ridicule, they have fear of not being ready, and that paralysis by analysis occurs, and they don't move. They stay stuck where they're at. So yeah, I mean the dream of achieving something big has to be bigger than your fear, um, as our man Steve Harvey said.
Steve Harvey, the king of short videos on YouTube.
He's got a lot of these clips for sure. How
Mm.
often should oil be changed in a cargo van under normal driving conditions? What do you think?
I'll go with uh, I don't know, 7,500 miles.
Okay.
I
I want to
changed
say
mine.
I want to say 10K, man, but it's probably 5. Yeah,
5.
yeah.
Man, how come? I don't know. I change on my personal vehicle. I changed like 7,500 miles, something like that. This is a
Yeah.
commercial vehicle for long distance. I don't know.
Well,
But
what the
to be
manufacturer
safe,
recommends.
yeah,
Well, this is Amina recommended actually.
yeah.
So per Amina, you should do it every 5,000 miles.
So guys, you do with BHX, you do 3 loads and then you do the oil change.
Right. All right, man. Hopefully everyone stays safe out on the road. We'll be back tomorrow, God willing, with another update.
Sure.
Let me shut this bad boy down.